HBO documentary series, Axios.
Roger, welcome to the Watergate Hotel.
Great to be here again.
You're a free man?
At this moment.
Shall we?
Indeed.
In the spirit of the day, I have a Moscow Mule.
I see that.
Like your gin martini is the usual?
Well, yes, as you know, I prefer Dick Nixon's silver bullet recipe. And the first time he made one for me, I said, "Wow, Mr. President, this is great." He said, "Yeah, I got the recipe from Winston Churchill."
So we're in the Watergate Hotel. You and I have had drinks here. Your choice of venue. You're a Nixon file.
I am. Look, I think that his presidency has to be viewed in its totality. I mean, there's a president who reached a strategic arms limitation agreement with the Soviets, opened the door to China, ended the war in Vietnam. This list goes on and on.
So it sounds like you think Richard Nixon got robbed.
Well, he certainly gets robbed of his record. I mean,
That's not a particularly popular point of view.
Well, I understand that, but the fake news media of its day robbed him of his legacy. But the facts are undeniable.
You have his tattoo on your back.
I do. I have a dick on the front and the back. He is someone that I admire, not because of his rigidity in terms of philosophy, but because of his resilience. It was Nixon who said, "A man is not finished when he's defeated, he's only finished when he quits." So I think Nixon, if someone would just focus on his accomplishments, was a great president. But all of that, of course, gets swept away in the ashes of Watergate.
Right after your sentencing, you went to the Palm, one of Washington's legendary expense account splurge places. That was a statement.
Well, I had the chicken.
What's your life like these days? Tell us what a day is like for Roger Stone.
You know, several months ago, I renewed my faith. I was born a Catholic, but I had fallen away from the church, and obviously a period of great stress. And I had an opportunity to witness with Franklin Graham, who gave me extraordinary advice about the Bible and its proper use. And it's brought me an enormous amount of solace and peace. I went to St. Patrick's in Washington, D.C. this morning for Mass. It was a terrific sermon about forgiving those who've trespassed against us. It's probably the hardest thing that Christians have to do, but it has to be done because the Bible requires it. Now, I know there are those who are going to say, "Oh, this is posed by Stone, this is some kind of head fake." It doesn't matter to me because he knows what's in my heart.
You were spotted at St. Patrick's.
Somebody took a picture and posted it on social media, yes.
That's your life.
Well, I mean, it's, the only thing worse than being infamous is never being famous at all. And it is what it is.
The president has unbelievable support of evangelical Christians. You can agree he's not a typical family man.
Well, but again, Christians believe deeply in redemption, and they believe in evolution. So it's not whether you've sinned, we've all sinned. It's not mistakes you made 15 years ago or 20 years ago or last year. It's what's in your heart today. I think Trump has been forgiven anything he did wrong. I think we all have. And I think he's a different person. I think he is steadfast in his faith. I don't think he could do this job if he was not.
When was the last time you talked with the president?
It's been several years now.
But while he was in office?
Yes.
And you talked to him on the phone? What would you talk about?
The fact that that everything I thought was possible for his presidency has turned out to be possible. That he has he's brought America back. I mean, this economy is red hot. My expectations have been met. He will go down now, regardless of the future, as one of our greatest presidents.
Back in 2008, Donald Trump told Jeffrey Toobin of The New Yorker, "Roger is a stone-cold loser. He always tries taking credit for things he never did."
I'm not going to contradict the President of the United States. I think the quote is outdated.
You think he's changed his view?
You'd have to ask him that.
Don Jr. has said that you've exaggerated your access to the Trumps.
Well, he wasn't around, so I'm not sure how he would know.
Did you BS anyone to make it seem like you were more involved, more of a player than you were?
One does not have to be on a campaign staff in order to effectuate the electoral outcome of an election in America. Given the modern miracle of social media and the ability to communicate, I'm proud of my support for the president. I did as much as I possibly could on my own to get him elected.
You've said in multiple interviews that you were proud to work for Donald Trump.
Yes, true.
Given all that's happened, do you feel the same way?
Yes, I do.
Any regrets?
And we're getting into matters that I'm not able to comment about because there's an assumption there. Given everything you've been through, I'm not going to discuss that.
You're under a gag order. You're not supposed to talk about specifics of your case. But there's a narrative in your head where you're the hero of all this. How do you see?
I can't comment on that. I'm under a gag order.
You were convicted of 7 counts.
I'm not going to discuss that.
It's a very real fact of your life.
I'm not going to discuss that.
Do you expect President Trump to pardon you?
I'm certainly not going to comment on that.
President Trump recently defended you in Vegas. He said, "They say he lied, but other people lied."
I'm not going to discuss anything that pertains to this case, and that could be inferred to pertain to the case. This is going to be a very boring interview.
I don't think anybody's ever said that you were boring.
The only thing worse in politics than being wrong is being boring.
Let's move on from Vegas. You're 67. What is your greatest fear right now?
The only fear I have is not being right with God.
And where are you on that score?
I feel pretty good because I've taken Jesus Christ as my personal Savior. And it's given me enormous strength and solace because He knows what's in my heart.
Thank you for sharing your time.
Gin, by the way. I'm a vodka guy.